Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to a brand new TW9 video. You join us today for our first pay-per-view for the Sickos. It is AEW Wrestledream 2024. It's only scheduled to run for 3 hours. Take note of that, Tony. But I did end up adding the Ricochet Will Ospreay match as a ladder match, just to fill up some time because we didn't have too much planned for it. But I'm intrigued to how this goes. First pay-per-view, wee bit of pressure. Hopefully it can deliver what I've done. I think it's roughly only 14 segments. So yeah, maybe a wee quick one today, and then we can get on the road to full gear. So sit back, relax and enjoy AEW Wrestledream 2024, the first pay-per-view on the save. Let's do it. And we are in the Tacoma Dome. We have went with 12,247 in the 17,000 capacity arena. We start off with the triple threat tag team match, and it's about to have some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. And it was the Kings of the Black Throne who defeated FTR and the Young Bucks in 1827 when Brody King pinned Cash Wheeler with Dante's Inferno. To lead up to the finish, we had Buddy Matthews attack Cash Wheeler, which set them up for it, and it means your new tag team champions are the Kings of the Black Throne. We lost a little bit in terms of our segment rating because we had to keep Cash Wheeler strong, but it was just to make Brody look like a machine. But I feel like the Young Bucks have been champions a lot. FTR have been literally doing a completely different path with the Kings of the Black Throne. It takes them away from the Trios division, and we can push that in a different direction, which they're not really needed in at this moment in time. Across the board, 72 for the wrestling, 51 for the crowd, 67 for the segment. In-ring performances are pretty good. Nick Jackson there with an 83 and a lot of positive. The storyline advances, gains a bit of heat. But yeah, new tag champs to open up the show. And I have a little segment backstage with MVP and Ricochet. Just says, you've lost once to Ospreay, but you're starting to get momentum. I think you need to start, grabbing the bull by the horns. Go and see Tony Khan. Get something arranged for tonight. So a bit of character development there. And it's a 54 rated segment. We then had the Women's World Championship on the line. We managed to make it happen. And it was a decent match. Mariah May defeats Willow Nightingale in 12:03 with a reversed bulldog. This was made to be our storytelling match because I needed to have one. And it gave Mariah May her third defence of the women's title a bit too early to take it off her. Across the board, 50 for the wrestling, 49 for the other two. The storyline advances. Unfortunately, there was a very risky creative finish suggested by Mariah May, so I opted to go for it, and it was a failure. It didn't pay off, but Mariah May retains the belt, and that allows us to, see how our challengers can step up. We then had Tony Schiavone confirm what we're going to see, and that is going to be Ricochet, Will Ospreay, a ladder match for the International Championship, 44 rated segment. Storyline advances, but it lost a little bit of heat. That'll be later on tonight. The mystery challenger from Stardom was Azumi, and she took on Mercedes Moné, and somehow Azumi has a stale gimmick, considering it's her only one-off appearance for us, but that might be a Stardom thing. But a decent matchup regardless. Mercedes Moné defeats Azumi in 14:01 with the bank statement. This was designed to be a steal the show matchup to showcase how good she's been. Obviously, Hikaru Shida matches and Britt Baker matches haven't been great, but this is to try and get that on the right path. 61 for the wrestling, 65 for the segment. The crowd were alright into it. But yeah, pretty decent stuff, and I don't think it was hampered by a lack of storyline. Nope, just her physical condition and a poor gimmick. So Mercedes Moné retains the TBS Championship. Moving forward to that international matchup. And a good match. Will Ospreay defeated Ricochet in a ladder match in 22:18 when Will picked up the title. Third defence of the AEW International Championship. 72 for the wrestling, 72 for the segment, just a 55 for the crowd. You can see there, Ricochet off his game. Storyline gains a bit of heat, but Ospreay is on another level, bruv. 84, great chemistry, even boosted that as well. But it's just to try and build Ricochet's character up a lot more than like, here, you just ain't at this level. How are you going to get there? I then had a little segment backstage. It really was just Don Callis trying to motivate Takeshita. Fletcher's there as well. They're all trying to basically motivate him ahead of his matchup against Kazuchika Okada. That's the matchup that they've got. 47 for this segment. Lost a little bit of heat in the storyline. Takeshita was held back with a language barrier. That's fair enough. Hopefully he can learn that over time. Because technically you wouldn't need to speak in that situation, you can just nod. But anyway, their matchup had great wrestling as you would expect and a decent reaction from the crowd. And had Okada defeat Takeshita in 2019 by pinfall after he illegally used the ropes for leverage, and that gave him his 6th defence of the Continental Championship. So at the moment, the Continental Championship will still do the kind of situation where it's obviously defending these kind of matches. How I'm going to work it with the Continental Classic, whether that means if Okada wins it, then doesn't have a title defence, or whoever wins it challenges Okada, remains to be seen. But I've got a wee bit of time to think about that for the C2, but 77 wrestling, 52 for the crowd, 74 for the segment. So the matches have delivered so far: 83 Takeshita, 70 Okada, and both benefiting from being in amazing form. And obviously coming off the G1, the storyline advances and it gains some heat. We then have another segment with MVP and Ricochet, and he just says, "You took a risk. I'm proud of you for doing that, but it just wasn't to be your night. I can help you get to that level. Just gotta trust me." And he gives him another business card. So 58 for this segment. Will we see Ricochet and MVP link up, or will he be a fall on Ricochet's side? Remains to be seen. Next up was for the TNT Championship, and it was a wild brawl match because I need to have one of them in the show. And I had a decent reaction from the crowd. Subpar wrestling, where Daniel Garcia defeated Jack Perry in 403 by pinfall, meaning Daniel Garcia is the new TNT champion. I feel Jack Perry can maybe push up higher in the card. Garcia I would like to see kind of wear a championship, constant defences. Both guys had good chemistry, it lifted the match up. Perry benefiting from being the flavour of the month, but yeah, just one of those ones. Negative storyline possibly. Nah, just going all out in stamina. So yeah, it just shows where they are in terms of overness. So it's obviously two workers we'll work with, but yeah, new champ here. Daniel Garcia is TNT champion. What I'm going to really find intriguing is separating the TNT championship and its division to the Continental to the International. That's what annoys me. I feel International and Continental are just too similar, and they're probably just props for Okada and Ospreay at this point, and to make championships have a title on the line. But it's up to me to try and separate them and what they stand for. Next up was the matchup for the Trios Championship, and it was about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as Yuta appeared and teamed up with the Blackpool Combat Club, and him, Castagnoli and Pac defeated Darby and the Lucha Bros in 1405 when Claudio pinned Darby while using the ropes for leverage. Obviously Darby selling those injuries, although no, still he's took a bit out of the Grizzled Young Veterans there. But anyway, it's our second defence of the belt. It's a 70 for the wrestling, 47 for the crowd rating, 72 segment overall. It's pretty good stuff there. Some good performances in there. Darby with a 73 with an injury, Yuta with a 63. Penta off his game, and as you can see there, Darby Allin gritted his teeth and worked for the injury without it affecting the match. So that's good to see. I don't know how much we'll get away with that with Darby. But obviously, I wonder on the situation with Yuta and alongside the Blackpool Combat Club. Well, there was obviously hesitation there. And yeah, they're celebrating by the belts. Yuta's not too happy, and he's still kind of just like, ugh, what am I doing here with you two? So a 50 rated segment. I was tempted to take the belts off them, but not so soon. But I have an idea where I want to go with Claudio and Pac. Yuta is still a work in progress where I'm going with that. But anyway, segment storyline advances, and we are heading to our main event. And thankfully, we get our high promo segment angle, whatever you want to call it, of the day with the segment here. And it's just basically Bryan coming out to Final Countdown. So is this the last time we see Bryan Danielson in an AEW ring? It's him versus Mox. It's the AEW World Championship. And they deliver my best match on TW in general. And about had superb wrestling and great heat. Bryan Danielson defeats Jon Moxley in 22:56 with a running knee. He makes his second defence of the AEW World Championship. This run isn't over yet. This storyline can go so much further. And Bryan had an in-ring performance in 94, Mox win 82. Bryan's final run has advanced the story and gained heat. He obviously benefits from the groundswell of public support. He's hot new move, and him and Mox having great chemistry, and it's shown in their performances. So, if in doubt, Danielson versus Mox is your way to go. But with a new 2-year deal, I at least want to stall out the title run a wee bit, having some good matches, and then obviously we'll give him a wee bit of break, and we'll bring him back. Because remember, he's not retiring. He's just not going to be a full-time competitor in real life. So we'll see what we can work with. So we finish our show on pay-per-view with a 78, which increased our popularity in one region, which I'm assuming will be where we were based. So because obviously what we run, we're restricted to what we can gain. I think I'm going to keep this for a while. And then maybe a year down the line, once everybody's over, we'll start moving out and getting rid of these natural growths, because that's a lot of markets we could have gained popularity. But I think it's going to present more of a challenge, so I kind of want to keep it for that wee bit. Obviously, let's praise them. Moxley's pleased, Bryan's pleased. No injuries, good to see, and overall profit 645,000. So ticket sales, merch, and pay-per-view revenue. So obviously we need to get a better network eventually, but 100 million, I probably should start just ploughing into that and making an own network at one point. So pop 61 to 62 in the Northwest, that's fine. So we probably should be trying to run these constantly in our home state, so we can try and go for medium to large as well. But I kind of want to take my time with it as well, to try and just enjoy getting people over, but knowing you're going to lose like Bryan and a few others. But for the first time, we'll have a media scrum. No cupcakes here, and let's see how it goes. Tonight's show is taking place. We've saw Willow Nightingale have an off night tonight. Is her inconsistency going to hold her back in AEW? I'm sure it was a one-off. Ricochet was off his game. Everyone has nights off from time to time. People are calling Wrestledream 2024 a success, but what's your view on the show? I'm delighted it went so well. We didn't see Max Caster at AEW Wrestledream, a situation he has said publicly disappoints him. I'm not surprised Max Caster has done that. Definitely shouldn't be unprofessional. Hopefully he'll dedicate his motivation to work a little bit harder. Currently the average age of the big stars in AEW is on the older side, being 38. With so many wrestlers no longer in their prime, do you think you need to think harder about the next crop of stars coming through? We've got plenty of young talented wrestlers, yep. Your response is please Nick Wayne. And Vikingo. Matt Sydal is coming to the end of his deal. Do you see him saying an extension? Aye. He's probably going to be injured till then, but of course we'd like to keep him. You have two workers, Dr. Britt Baker DMD and Alicia Atout, who don't like each other. Are you planning to address this? Alright, that. I'll just say I like a little tension. As long as they remain professional, actually. Oh, and I double clicked something there really quick, so I don't know what that last one was. My bad. But overall, I would say that's a successful first pay-per-view. We'll just jump into the main screen, see if anything pops up that addresses our attention, and then I've got a 5-week build to the next pay-per-view, I think. But the good thing is, like, I'm going to be in a situation now where I could have like some dream matches on TV just to see what works effectively. So Wrestledream, excellent, really struck gold, that's good to see. Obviously our best show so far. So anything there that really affects us? I don't think so. And Kenzie Page will join on the written contract with the Ironclad. Let's her work elsewhere, but again, gives her a chance in ROH. So Omos has ended his engagement to his partner. AZM, or Azumi, is back to stardom. Viewing figures was 232,000. Buy rate of 270. So probably about 500,000 people watched it, whether on television or pay-per-view. So finances, I don't think that's too bad because we spent a lot in production, and it's probably very AEW-like for the worker cost to be that high. But we'll see how it affects us at the end every month and what we kind of need to do. So I'm just going to quickly, Company Wars, AEW. So Wrestledream by far our best show with a 78, ahead of a Dynamite and a Collision, which is good to see. Best match so far, 3 of them are Bryan Danielson, I'm not shocked. Him v Mox, him v Ultimo Guerrero, and him versus Roddy Strong, so that's good to see. But eventually this will creep up. We'll obviously start with a lot of stuff in the 60s and 70s, and then eventually it'll push the 80s and 90s down the line once you get people over. Best attendance by far, 12,000 at Wrestledream. 0.43 is the pay-per-view buy rate. A 1.48 for Dynamite. So obviously I've done 2 Dynamites, 2 Collisions and 2 Rampages. Wrestledream down there. And the best viewership, 2 Dynamites. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with that. Hope you've enjoyed it. And as I say, we now have the run of 41 days to build up to full gear, so we can probably get some stories and programs on the road to that. And I've got 2 days to next Dynamite. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, a wee thumbs up, deeply appreciated. How you finding the RWC mod? How's your saves going? Let me know. Remember and check out the Fantasy Booker subreddit, Grey Dog Software forums, twdb.com and bethebooker.net for all resources regarding TW9. But take it easy guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.